All right, y'all, welcome to another episode. We have been putting out a few podcasts. Maybe we'll put out this one and then maybe one other on essentially manhood and womanhood. Last episode, we talked about manhood and men and, what is masculinity. And essentially what we said, to summarize it, was that men go first. You could say men are the tip of the spear in society, in families and marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we even specifically talked about, obviously, plenty could be said, but we
Yeah.
talked about men going first in terms of providing,
Yep.
in particular for their families and providing for their wives and providing for their kids. That men go first and bear the ultimate burden every day and the ultimate responsibility to provide, to protect
Mm-hmm.
for their families. And that obviously ripples out all throughout society. That I think that men in society go first to
Mm-hmm.
provide, to keep a country and a society safe and protected.
Yeah.
Um, we've said it on a couple episodes, or I have, that the military of America, like it's to our shame
Yeah.
if we're like, we gotta go send the women.
Yeah.
No, women and children in the lifeboats,
Yeah.
the men go down with the ship, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you said tip of the spear. It's like the tip of the spear is the at least the first part of the spear you don't expect to get back.
Yeah.
That men go die in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Paul talks about that in Ephesians, that he says specifically, husbands, lay down your lives
Yep.
for your wives,
Yep.
for your wife. Um,
Because it doesn't say for wives to do that.
yeah, and he does
Right.
not say, wife, lay down your life for your husband. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the summary. So with that being said, talk today about womanhood and what does that mean for women? What does that mean for a wife, to
Yeah.
get specific? What does that mean if that's true of men? What does that mean for women? So we'll start here and then I'll throw it to you. So
Sure.
for decades, feminist ideology, maybe we could call it, maybe the easiest way to summarize kind of what we're talking about here, has said that that women, that essentially there's no value,
Right.
that essentially it's actually very weak and worthless
Yes.
for a woman to grow up and to say, really my dream is to get married to a good man
Right.
who protects and provides for me
Yep.
so that I can have kids, so that I can raise those kids,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to ship them off somewhere else to be raised for a
Mm-hmm.
large percentage of their upbringing in life, but that I can
Mm-hmm.
raise those kids, I can raise those babies. I'm free
Yeah.
to take care of a young infant
Yeah.
that needs 24/7 eyes on care.
Right.
Um, and I can raise those kids. I can take care of our home because I am free,
Right.
because my husband
Yeah.
protects and provides for me.
Yeah.
Feminism has basically said, not only is that not good,
Right.
they've said that it's not only not neutral, but that's actually a very kind of worthless,
Thing.
bad
Yeah.
mindset for a woman to have. This ideology has been preached
Yeah.
from within the feminism world,
Mm-hmm.
if we want to call it that, whatever, for decades. That it's kind of worthless. Like it's something to be ashamed of.
Right.
That if that's a woman's dream, like I just want to get married,
Marry and
have kids, raise
Right.
kids, like I'm ashamed of that.
Right. You're less than. Yeah.
I think this is tied into
Subwoman.
the abortion industry,
Right.
that a true woman
Uh-huh.
is totally independent.
Yep.
A true woman does not want or need a man.
Yes.
A true woman does not want or need to have children. A
Mm-hmm.
true woman does not stay home and take care of the home and be the CEO of her house in that regard, and
Right.
and be the primary caregiver and of children.
Yeah.
That's not a true woman is totally independent. A true woman doesn't desire or need a man, a husband. A true woman doesn't need children.
Right.
I think it's tied into the abortion industry in the regard of that fuels the concept of
Yeah.
do not have kids.
It's the worst thing that could happen to you.
It's the worst thing that could happen because it will shut down you being a true woman.
Yeah.
Because if you have kids, it makes it really hard to go work a job,
Right.
all these sorts of things. So do not have kids. And if you do get pregnant, kill it.
Yeah.
Kill the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Just kill the baby so that you can be a true woman. Now,
Yeah.
I think that that's, okay, summary of what I've seen and heard.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all true,
Right.
here's the question, and I'm going to throw it to you.
Sure.
If that's all true, why is it that so many women either are willing to admit, I have this natural wiring
Yeah.
from like when I was a little girl?
Yes.
Nobody told me this. It's just comes from within.
Right.
I just want to get married.
Yeah.
To a good man.
Uh-huh.
I want to be protected and provided for by
Sure.
that man so that I can just have babies
Yeah.
and raise children.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like storming the beach of Normandy every day? Yes. It's
Uh-huh.
going to be very hard,
Uh-huh.
but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Why is it that so many women are willing to admit? Why is it that so many women maybe don't admit that?
Yeah.
But the second a good man comes in their life and proposes, they go like, actually, this like huge degree I've been working on becoming a doctor, I suddenly don't care about
Yeah.
because he's going to protect and provide for me. And now I get to admit
Yeah.
that I actually just want to have kids.
So
Why is
good.
it that so many women, when
Yeah.
maybe it takes as long as that when they read that pregnancy test positive, I'm pregnant, they immediately go like, screw it all.
Yeah.
Like my degree, everything I've done.
Right. Right.
This is commonplace to hear
Yes.
from women, that it's like, I don't care about any of it
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like I am pregnant. I am quitting my job. I am staying home. I am going to nurture,
Yeah.
raise babies.
Huh.
If feminism is true, why do we see what
Uh-huh.
appears to be the total opposite
Yeah.
from women?
Yeah.
That's where we want to go. We're going to talk about that, talk about what does it mean to submit to
Yeah.
your husband, all sorts of things. But with that long intro,
Yes.
what
So the
comes to
warm
mind?
up, it seems like there is already a gravitational law at place in humanity, in male and female, and in the world. It seems that
Mhm.
way, right? And
Mhm.
goes back to our initial episode where we were saying, listen, this whole subject has to first answer what is the authority for even discussing this topic? Like, what will be your authority to even wade into the waters of discussing a male realities and discussing female realities, the relations of the sexes, right? Um, and it seems if we go all the way back to when people started writing things down and we started having record of them, and then there was uh, of occasions of how the world began, all the way from the beginning and all early written records and in history, um, men and women have been pitted against each
Mhm.
other. Uh, that there's the battle of the sexes, and
Mhm.
we kind of all laugh at it. And there's tons of books about our differences, but uh, that seems to be the stance that has been accepted, embraced, and now we've just kind of elevated it.
Mhm.
We've now elevated the differences or elevated the battle
Mhm.
to where what you just said in the introduction, that now it's like, men are absolutely not trustworthy. They're Neanderthals. They're bad. They're going to hurt you.
Right.
And a woman now is going to basically be completely independent, doesn't need a man. But so all that to say, go back to the authority though. The Bible doesn't say that. And if we treat the Bible as the word of God and as the authority of the one who actually made men, made woman, made this world, it would make sense when he says this is a good thing. The
Mhm.
differences are actually the man images God the way that God had designed man. The woman images God the way God has designed the woman, and neither of them got the full package of him imaging God. But together, it's the closest thing that God has designed for him being
Mhm.
imaged on earth by human beings. And so together they complement each other. Together they actually image God fully the way he wanted them to from the original
Mm-hmm.
design. So that to me is the authority. And that would mean, it seems that that would mean packed into being a male and packed into being a female would be almost stuff that's like innate. It's embedded in your nature.
Mm-hmm.
The mission's embedded in there. He tells you to do this mission. He made men and women for this mission. So obviously, innately in us, there's a gravitational pull towards that mission and a gravitational pull and dependency to actually be this way. So it would make sense that women from the very beginning would be like, as they start growing up, and I just want to be a mom and I want to have kids. Um, I mean, even my own wife, if I was to use her anecdotally, that she was going full out to the Baylor Business School and was going to have her own business and
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And then all of course sudden she met me and all of that changed.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I want to be married and I want to have kids.
Right.
Um, so to me, it seems, well, it's not seems, it's reality that that's what's happening. Women are generally wired to want to get married and have kids, and men are generally wired to want to be married and to have kids and to provide and protect for
Right.
their family.
Right.
Uh, it's not a big secret, but I think somehow we've made it a dirty thing.
Yeah.
We've made the roles and the missions and the image bearing that God's packed into men and women, we've made them bad.
Yeah.
Or we've taken the sinful realities that are present in both male and female and extra elevated them and used them as ammo to be like, see, a woman's this way, don't trust a woman. See, a
Mm-hmm.
man's this way, don't trust a man.
Mm.
And that's no way to live in reality.
Yeah. I think you mentioned two things. I was trying to remember both. One was there is an underlying assumption, I think, in this ideology that tells women, it's shameful to want to be married. It's shameful to
Yeah.
like that's your dream. It's shameful.
Yeah.
There's an underlying idea in there that men are bad,
Yeah.
and that men are inherently bad, inherently dangerous, inherently abusive. That's like the rule,
Mm-hmm.
and the exception to the rule is like a good guy,
Right.
um, because which is just wrong,
Right.
right? But even in my experience, like I feel like if there were almost like three categories, it's like most of the guys that I know just in life, like honestly, even Christians or not, like they don't go home and like smack their wife in the face, and be like, "Where's
Right.
dinner?"
Right.
Like, and if anything, when a guy does go bad, if you will, in a
Mm-hmm.
marriage, a lot of times it's passivity. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. Um,
The overbearing
it's not
part.
the overbearing active abuse. It's
Mm-hmm.
really the first step and kind of the most, I think, common like husband who's not doing his God-given calling is really
Mm-hmm.
just someone who's like lazy. Like what I hear most of the time is more like he has a drinking problem. Like
Yeah.
he comes home from work, he sits on the couch, he watches TV, he doesn't help at all when he gets home.
Yep.
He doesn't help with the kids,
Yep.
he doesn't help with the dishes,
Yep.
he doesn't help anything. He just like is passive and lazy. And then obviously at least in our world, that it's far more rare that you get the husband who is maybe those things and just like utterly abusive,
Yeah.
right? It exists, but
Right.
my
Absolutely.
my point is that feminism kind of says like the rule is that most guys just will be abusive and dangerous,
Yeah.
whether that's physically, whether it's verbally. There's multiple ways,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and yet I would go, man, I think that the rule seems to be that most guys in marriages are, and again, in my own personal experience, like even Christian or not,
Mm-hmm.
are trying to be like good guys and take care of
Mm-hmm.
their families. And really then the next step is just again that passivity.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you get just the really, really dangerous stuff that can happen.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that we have to recognize that there's that inherent idea that men are just bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, listen, if that's true,
Right.
then it probably would be somehow shameful to be like, and I want to marry one of them.
Right.
But that's just not reality. I think the second thing you said, I don't remember, but uh, the framework I do want to mention here again, and I think that's important to go back to, is that the way I see this is, if anything, women, if anything, seem to be far more valued than men,
Yep.
because men are sent out to go break their back and hang drywall. They're sent out to the beach of Normandy.
Yep.
They stay on the Titanic
Yeah.
so that what appears to be the most cherished and the most valuable of creation,
Yeah.
women, can be free.
Yeah.
And so my brain has a hard time understanding
Right.
the
Right.
feminist,
Right.
I guess, ideology that says it's more valuable.
Right.
Um, for instance, like even
Right.
just think of this specific example of like work. There's 1,000 applications. Think about work, because it typically comes down to like career and money
Mm-hmm.
and who's the earner and the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
If someone told me, Colin, you will be the ultimate provider, period. So do whatever it takes for your wife to be free of
Mm-hmm.
all burden and responsibility of having money, so that she is totally free to raise kids and she's just free.
Mm-hmm.
If someone told me that, I would go, so she's more valuable than me, correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Whereas feminism goes like, you're saying she's not valuable.
Yeah.
Like, no, I actually think that she's the cherished one
Yeah.
in God's eyes.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah.
I think it's important to just
And you
highlight
know what?
that
The Bible actually says that, though. It actually says the man to cherish your wife.
right,
It
right,
uses that language.
right.
Yeah.
You even
So
think about
interesting.
the
It doesn't
book.
say that about men. I'm not told. My wife is
Yeah,
not commanded anywhere in the Bible to cherish me.
right, right. Even think about the whole book, Song of Songs. Um, it's like she is the
Yeah.
prized, cherished, you
Yeah.
know, you better
Yeah.
go die for
Yes.
that
This is the
woman.
valuable one. This is
Yes.
the one that when everything, the bottom falls out, we want her to still
Yeah.
be here. You're expendable.
I want you to give your thoughts on the topic of submission.
Yeah.
Again, I think this all connects to the reality that when Paul in Ephesians goes, husband, uh, lay down your life, sacrifice yourself,
Yeah.
die for your wife. Wife, submit to your husband.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's all sorts of like fear surrounding that verse of what that means. Because again,
Yeah.
we immediately go to like, I
They,
have to submit to a man who
yeah.
who
Who's
hits
bad?
me, right?
Right.
I have to submit to bad.
Yeah.
This goes hand in hand with everything in my mind of what I'm thinking, which is submission is going, I have this good man who I submit to him being the bearer of all responsibility.
Yeah.
He is the leader. He is the one who takes ultimate burden, ultimate responsibility, ultimate leadership of this family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's the one like
Yeah.
that if God calls my wife, and my kids to a judgment table,
Yeah.
he's looking at me in the eye
Yeah.
and going, let's talk,
Yes.
right? So submission is going, yeah, I'm submitting to that system.
Yeah.
That's my role in this organization called a family,
Yeah.
that he is the ultimate leader. He's the tip of the spear. He goes first. Of course, it needs to be said, none of that means stupid things like
Right.
wives they're not a part of decision making. And
Right.
if anything, a healthy marriage is really a man going, I think we should go this way, but I also think what you're thinking is a good decision. And you know what,
Mm-hmm.
sweetie, I'm willing to die to my desires for you in this moment.
Yeah.
How healthy would it be if then she goes, you know what? You're the leader. You take first responsibility. I've given my opinion on this decision and I'll
Mm-hmm.
submit to what you think. That's a healthy conversation
That's
right
a
there.
great
And then the
conversation.
man bears the ultimate responsibility
Mm-hmm.
for, this particular decision.
Yeah.
I'll throw this to you.
Yeah.
That's how I view this submission thing is I'm the first,
Yeah.
and I bear that responsibility for my family when it comes to provision, protection, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Um, Feminism kind of flips this on the head in the most weird way, because it usually also comes down to work and making money, and goes, that's so shameful to submit to your husband. I have a better idea for you. go get a job,
Yeah.
um, make your kids submit to the daycare workers while
Mhm.
you're at your job. So they're following their lead for a
Yep.
big portion of their day,
Yep.
not yours.
Yep.
And you go submit to a random boss that you don't know.
Yeah.
That, by the way, could be a man.
Right.
It could be a woman, but it could be a man.
Yeah.
So here's what's really valuable. This is what feminism, in my opinion, what I hear is don't submit to the good man that you married and you're raising kids with. Go submit to the stranger person who really doesn't care about you at all. And they
Right.
really just care about your performance and helping them make money.
Yeah.
That's valuable.
Man,
And
yeah.
I look at that and I go, that sounds insane because
Yeah.
in all of life, there's going to be submission.
Mhm.
Like if I have a boss, I am submitting to that boss,
Mhm.
period. If I don't, chaos.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I would argue in every marriage, even if a husband and wife goes, no one submits to no one
Yeah.
in this marriage, I'd go, yes, they do.
Yeah.
You look at churches where they'll be like, we have 3 co-equal pastors. There's no one or another. And I would come in, I would go, I'm telling you, there's an
Yes.
alpha.
Yes.
There's an alpha in
Yeah.
this room.
Uh-huh.
It just that's reality.
Yeah.
That's how it works. There's going to be roles, deference, submission,
Yeah.
and God has graciously said, and here's the best way. Here's my way. Here's
Yes.
how I've wired you guys
Uh-huh.
internally.
Uh-huh.
Do it this way, and
Yeah.
you'll thrive.
Yeah. Yeah, so many thoughts. Yes, my first thought is leadership is inescapable. It's going to happen. There's no such thing as a non-leader in the church, in the home, um, in a business, in an organization, in the culture. There's just no such thing. And so there's an inescapable leadership void that will be filled. And
Mhm.
why is that? Because that's the way the world's made. That's because we have a creator who made the world this way. That's because we have a creator that said, I am good and I'm a good king, and I'm going to image my goodness and my glory and the dynamics that go on inside the Trinity between the 3 persons of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Again, Jesus submits
Mhm.
to God as the Savior and the true Adam. Um, God's role in salvation is not submitting to the Son, and the Holy Spirit is sent from both of them. So that's packed into male and female, the image of God. So it makes sense. Again, we're working with, there's a gravity. There's a
Right.
2 plus 2 is 4. It's just the way the world works. And for some reason, we constantly suppress that, uh, work and rebel against it. And we wonder why we're hurt.
Mhm.
We wonder why, gosh, our marriage is just not doing well when each person is trying to assume the role of the other or abandoning the way God has set up things.
Mhm.
And we wonder why there are consequences.
Mhm.
We wonder why there are fractures and wreckage and ruin that happens,
Mhm.
right? So all that said, inescapable leadership. So what that means is that yes, God, and this is what my other thought is this: the husband is called to lay down his life for his wife,
Mhm.
to lead that way. That if that's a good thing. That's what Jesus does for his church. And we respond, Jesus, you're the leader of the church. You're the leader of our lives. And because you laid down your life for us,
Mhm.
right? You're the first. And we want to submit to the one who loves us so. We want to submit to the one and trust the one, his leadership, right, of the church. That's what the church does. So in a microcosm, the family is to operate and actually image the reality of God's relationship to the church. The family is designed to do that.
Mhm.
And so, again, the number one person, according to the Bible, that's designed to love first, be the first to admit they're a sinner, be the
Mhm.
first to lead in redemption, be the first to stand strong in the faith, to be the first to lead the family in the ways of God. That one is called to assume that
Mhm.
role, to be first, to lead. and fill that leadership void that's there. And the wife is called to, yes, trust him
Mhm.
and to be actually the prized one and the taken care of one and
Yeah.
apparently the
Yeah.
most valuable one in the
Yeah.
relationship that the husband's called to lay his life down. And that's good submission and that's good leadership. Uh, Outside of that, it gets wonky, and outside of
Mhm.
that, it gets disordered.
Mhm.
Outside of that, it's not healthy. Outside of that, weird dysfunctions come into marriages and come into families and affect the children. And
Mhm.
so it would make sense. Those are my thoughts
Yeah.
right off the bat.
So real quick to kind of wrap this up,
Yeah.
there's a lot of applications to this and of what this means on the ground, if you will. So real quick, does all of this mean, or are we saying that it's sinful to for a woman to work and make money, whether she's single or married? Is that
Yeah.
sinful?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, totally agree.
Yeah.
I was talking to my wife yesterday about like when our last kid goes up to school and her working and
Yeah.
and my stance was like, number one, I don't want you to have to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's my ultimate burden.
Mm-hmm.
But in that freedom you have, I don't know. Let's see what you want to do.
Yeah.
What do you want to do,
Yeah.
sweetie? Um, is it sinful? This is a big question, but does all of this mean that there is no world in which you can have a godly, God glorifying, healthy, thriving family where the wife is the breadwinner and the dad stays home? Does this mean that that setup inherently is sinful?
No. Again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we said this off air that my opinion, and you can give yours quickly maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and we can wrap up, is in that regard, if
Mm-hmm.
because all of this does lead to, in my opinion, the rule is the man is the ultimate provider, ultimate protector
Yeah.
to free his wife to live out her dream of having kids, raising kids.
Yep.
Um, I uh, think that it's extremely case by case when you get to the exceptions to the rule.
Right.
I talked personally with a woman in the past few months who her husband has not been working for a few years.
Mm.
He is totally able bodied, energetic, could work, and I could tell from the way that we were just cordially getting to know each other at this business event.
Mm-hmm.
We just happened to sit across from each other, and I was like, "Oh, I think I know
Mm-hmm.
whatever." I could tell in her words and her face, it was so obvious that she was like, that they were not thriving,
Yeah.
that she was not thriving,
And she's not enjoying what's happening.
that she was
Yeah.
ashamed
Yeah.
of like, he's not working, he's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
I don't like this. We're not thriving. There's something wrong.
Yep.
On the flip side,
Yep.
I have talked to people in the past few months. Dad is a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
Wife is the main breadwinner. And by all accounts, I'm like, this exception to the rule seems to be thriving,
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to them, I also don't go, man, you really seem like you submit to her. I'm like, no, I think that y'all seem to be living according to the
Yeah.
biblical idea that you're
She's
laying your life down for her.
yeah.
She submits to you as her husband, and yet she's the main breadwinner. So
Yeah.
that's my summary there on that specific application regarding all of this and roles and things, is that
Yeah.
there's a rule,
Yep.
there's exceptions to the rule. When there's an exception, it's really, it's case by case. Hey,
Yeah.
this is an exception, so it is noteworthy
Yeah.
that this exception is here.
Yep.
Why is this exception here? Is there a problem that's leading to this exception, or is this good and thriving and God
Yeah,
glorifying?
I totally agree. Case by case, and I think fascinating. Even I guess in history, I've been reading this one particular book, and it was laying out the way the culture and the economies have been going, and up until the Industrial Revolution, the family unit was also the economic unit, and so everybody was all in it together:
Mm-hmm.
mom, dad, kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the Industrial Revolution came, it created a separation with home and work,
Yeah.
and that's how we're playing things out. So it would make sense that case by case basis,
Mm-hmm.
uh, things things would look and could look different. But generally speaking, what we've been talking about in terms of the male and female and the missions that God's given them, the way He's packed His image into each of them, and how He didn't give all of them His whole image. He gave some of them to the male and some of them to the female, and meant to complement and to fully, as one new thing, image Him. That it's not good for man to be alone, because he can't fully image God alone. And it's not good for woman to be alone because she can't fully image God
Mhm.
alone. And then obviously that leads to the church and things like that too, and singleness. And
Yeah.
maybe we could talk about that sometime. What happens if your mission and your call is to be single? How
Mhm.
does that work? And what does that look like?
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe we could go there next episode too
Yeah.
to hit that, because all this does beg that big question about singleness,
Yeah.
and the difficulty of singleness for singles who desperately don't want to be
Yeah.
single, and for singles who I know that are like content,
Yeah.
right? The Apostle Paul, single.
Yeah.
So that could be maybe a good thing to get into. So we'll end it there.
Yeah.
Um, until next time, peace.